Well, I'd like to welcome you to Lesson 5. And in this particular lesson, we're going to take a little bit of a departure from my normal mode of training educators on a particular technology. And that is, I'd like to actually teach you an entire lesson just with a chalk and chalkboard. Of course, you know I don't have a chalk and chalkboard here, but this is an application called awwapp.com, and it's going to simulate the experience of a chalkboard. And so the reason I'm doing this is because there are people not only in America but even across the world that they don't actually have iPads in their classroom, and they don't have Macintosh in their classroom. Yet they still want to start teaching their students technology. And so I would like to give you the experience and a demonstration of what it's like to teach a feature of a technology without even having the technology in front of you. And so basically, this will actually be a help to those of you who do have these technologies, because you'll be able to realize, okay, you know, I can actually teach the students while they're in my classroom, and then later I can take them later in the week to the lab where there's the computers and they can work on it. Or there's some of you who don't even have a computer lab, and so you can actually teach them in your classroom a particular feature, and then you just tell them to go home and either ask for their mom's iPhone, or go to a library where there's computers, and they can actually practice by themselves. And so let's jump right into lesson 5. This is on animations, and once again, you're not going to see the iPad appear on my screen. I'm going to show you completely how to do animations with the use of chalk and chalkboard. So basically what we'll do is, let's go ahead and start, and let's draw an iPad. Or for those of you who are teaching Keynote on a Mac, you can say this is the screen. But for my purposes, this will be an iPad. And now there's a few main sections for Keynote when you actually open up a presentation. Of course, you know right here at the top left it says presentations. That allows you to go back to the templates. And you know on the right you have a plus sign that allows you to insert things like pictures, etc. You also have a little kind of a wrench, and let's see how my artistic ability is. I'm just going to do a very simple symbolic wrench, and so that's our wrench. I guess if I were to connect this a little bit clearer, I'd probably do something like this. Okay, so that allows for you to, like a wrench, you actually put it over a bolt and you twist it. And then there's, a little box here that allows you to share. And then there's an arrow here that allows you to go into presentation mode. Then there's a plus down here that allows you to add a slide. And then you usually have your thumbnails here, which are your slides in smaller format. And then whatever slide you're currently on, let's say you're on this slide, it actually appears in the main window. And I'll just go ahead and put a check right here. And so there you have a pictorial description of the entire user interface of Keynote. And you haven't even touched the technology yet. But your students begin to understand, wow, there are only about 7 main sections, and I can understand this pretty easily. Presentations allows me to click. Thumbnails allows me to see a smaller view. Plus allows me to add something. The center area is the main place of working. That's basically kind of 4 sections. And then the last 4 sections, there's plus sign to insert things, tool sign to actually add animations. To share something, there's a little square, and then there's a little triangle, and I know it doesn't look too clear here, for me to play in presentation mode. So that's 8 sections. I think formerly I said 7 sections. That's 8 nice sections. You can have them understand. Right after that, you can actually give them a little quiz that just basically says, write out the 8 main sections of Keynote. And they'll be able to do this, and you'll be able to assess whether they've grasped the concept. Okay, now let's get into animations. And animation is the ability to basically do this. Let's say you have 2 main points here that you want to present. Teachers need more school supplies. And then you want to make another statement. Teachers are the key to raising up our future critical thinkers. Okay, now an animation basically allows for you to have these two things appear in sequence when you actually play things in presentation mode. And so the way to do it is actually quite simple. First of all, you go ahead and click on the area where there's these texts. And usually you'll get something that when you click on it, it kind of highlights the line maybe in blue. And then what you can do is you go ahead and you click on Tools. Tools allows you a wide variety of features, and we're going to walk through the features that you can actually use to do animation. So once you click on Tools, you're going to get something that pops up that's a little window here. And one of the options will be Transition and Builds. We'll just go ahead and type that right here. Transitions and Builds. Okay, don't worry if it doesn't look too pretty, but that's one of the menu items. Once you click on that, basically there'll be something that appears right above this line that basically says fly in or none, or actually it says build in. So let me just go ahead and write that here. You'll get this phrase build in. And when you click on build in, it'll come up with some options. And the main thing you want to take note is it'll actually show you a menu that looks like this. I'll go ahead and draw it. And at the bottom here, there'll be 4 little squares. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And the first square will just be called effects. Go ahead and choose what effect you want. And I'm just going to go ahead and write all the things of the effects that I want. So the effect I want is I want fly-in effect. Okay, once you've gone ahead and done that, go ahead and click on the next button at the bottom. It's called Options. And you can say you want them to come in from the left. And so we'll go ahead and do another line. And really all you want is to choose from the left. Then you'll click on another button here. It's called Delivery. And you can specify that you want things to be appearing on the screen by bullet point. So I'll just go ahead and put by bullet point. And then the last one is you can put the order of things. And I think for most of us, the order is going to be just from top to bottom. So you can just say the first item is teachers need more school supplies. Of course, you won't need to type this. This will actually appear. It'll show you these two things in order. And then you go ahead and up here, you click Done. And you can hit play, and it'll show these things in order. That's it. I have just taught you animation, which is one of the more complicated features, completely by just drawing. And so I'd like you all to get used to doing that. And as part of one of the exercises, you don't have to turn it in. I'm going to ask you to take out a piece of paper and actually write out basically what you saw here and put yourself in the mode of training your students by just having them have pencil and paper. Okay, great. Thank you very much.